Welcome to Career Pro Tips by Life in the Green Room. Life in the Green Room is all about helping busy professionals who want more from their career. We provide action-oriented, tool-based plans and programs to help you take action and start driving your career where you want to go. Career Pro Tips is a weekly video series where we dive into one specific topic or question and give you strategies, tactics, and tips that you can apply right away if that's a topic that's really relevant to you. My name is Heather Green McGlynn, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing at a Fortune 500 company. I have used these tips and strategies, and I have seen my peers, my colleagues, and my team use them. I know that they will help you start taking ownership of your career. Welcome to episode 35 of Career Pro Tips. This week, we are going to talk all about how do you plan for your week. This was a specific question that I got from one of you guys, and I am here for you. I am all about helping think about how you guys can have successful careers, owning your career journey, and learning tips and tricks that are actionable to help you succeed. So I was thrilled to get this question because I am a big planner. I love planning. And so I thought I would share with you how I approach planning for the week. But before I do that, I wanted to dive into 3 tips for you when you're thinking about how you should plan your week. How you should plan your week is likely not how I plan mine. So I want to give you the example of what I'm doing. I will tell you for sure it's always evolving. I'm always changing how I think about planning. So don't worry about doing exactly what I'm doing or exactly what anyone else is doing. Kind of pick and choose from everything you know about planning and customize it for what is going to work for you. The first tip I want you to think about is when is a good time for planning for you. It seems kind of obvious, but it may not be Monday morning. If you start every single Monday morning with a 2-hour meeting from 8 to 10 and you're off to the races after that, Monday morning may not be your best time to plan for your week. So if it's not, is it Sunday night? Is it Friday afternoon? Is it Friday morning? It can be anything, but just think about your schedule and what's going to work and try to identify times that will be good for you for planning. The second thing I want you to think about is what are your pain points? Why are you worried about planning your week? Are you not getting your important work done? Are you having to bring emails home every night? Like, what's going on that you really want to try to fix? And the reason I want you to think about that is because that's specifically what you want to plan for. There's a million things that you could plan for in your week, but if you know where you're feeling the most pain or why you're feeling like your weeks are not going in the best way that they can or the best way that you want, think about that when you're figuring out how to plan for your week. And the last thing that I want you to think about is I think planning is key. I think having a great week and then one great week and another great week and building them up is fundamental to success in your career. I don't know any other way to do but planning it. I do not think that you can just show up and have a great week. I think you have to be intentional. I think you have to go after it. I think you have to own your week just like you own your career. And you can tell I'm excited to talk about this, but I want you to understand planning is the key, but customize it. I talked about that in the beginning. Figure out how you can plan that's going to work for you. And so with that, I'm going to dive into what I do to give you some ideas or some food for thought. So I would say that the first thing for me is that I actually start planning my next week at the end of the prior week. So usually by Thursday afternoon or Friday, I start to casually look at what my calendar looks like next week. Am I traveling? Do I have some big deliverables? Do I have some big meetings? And I really want to get the feel of the lay of the land of the following week. Based on what has to happen next week, am I prepared? Or do I have some big things that aren't done yet that need to be done for the week? And if that's the case, if I look there and I'm like, oh, I have a big meeting and I have a presentation due, or I have a big analysis that I haven't started or I haven't finished or whatever, I will go into the following week and block off time to work on my big important projects. I usually try to block 90 minutes at a time. For whatever reason, an hour never seems to be enough. And I will kind of schedule a few on my calendar. I do not do this weeks out. but I do it a few days out. So on Thursday, I might block off time on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the following week, depending on how many big things that I have to get done that aren't completed. So that's kind of what I do on Thursday and Friday. I look at my next week or maybe a week and a half, and I block off some time to work on the really important things. Then I do some more official planning either Sunday night or Monday morning. And this is when I kind of take a look at what do I need to get done this week? And when I look at that, I look at my whole life, not just my work. I plan out, or at least earmark when I plan to exercise. I do that almost every week without fail. I often plan what I think I'm going to wear. I know that sounds crazy, but for me, I don't want to waste even 5 minutes thinking about what I'm going to wear in the morning. So often I will just make a quick jot of, okay, this is what I'm going to wear each day. When I'm really on my game, I will even plan high level what I'm going to eat during the week. The weeks get crazy when your job is busy and you're a parent. And so I like to think that taking a minute to even jot down what I'm going to eat is going to help me. Back in episode number 32 of Career Pro Tips, I talked about health and work. And so when I'm really on my A game, I do think about what I'm going to eat. Then I kind of go through and look at my week and I pick out the most important 3 things that I'm going to try to get done that week. These might be all work, they might be all personal depending on what's going on in my life, and they might be a combination of the 2. I only pick 3, so you really have to get specific as far as, okay, at the end of the week, what must I have got done this week? And I write them down. And then I think about when I might possibly have time to work on those things. Am I going to work on them on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday? Am I going to do them in the evening? Do I need help from somebody else to do them? I kind of get it around in my head. What is going to need to happen for me to get my most important 3 things done during this week? I'm still not done planning for my week. After that, I will kind of traditionally look into a week assessment for the upcoming and the previous week. I really will follow a lot of the strategies of Michael Hyatt in his Full Focus Planner. And I think about, okay, what didn't I get done last week? Do I have outstanding administrative issues? Do I have outstanding work? If it's admin stuff, like I need to schedule an appointment or I need to send somebody a quick email, I do it right then. If it's something big that got left on the table from the prior week, I schedule it because I'm already in my calendar. So I'll say, all right, when am I planning to do that? Or when can I actually work on it? I will look at the last week and say, did I get my big 3 things done? If I did, great. What helped me do that? If I didn't, where did I fall down? What did I need to do differently in order to get those 3 things done? Because I will be honest, I don't always get my top 3 done. I would say I'm maybe 50%. So I'm still working on this process, but this is kind of this is where I'm at now. So I look at what worked last week, what didn't, what I'm going to try to do better this week. And then I'll just think for a second about what do I need to do to have a really great week? Like, what do I need to do to set myself up to be successful? And if there's anything else I'm missing, I throw that into my thoughts on the week as well. So by the end of this, I have cleared any outstanding tasks from the prior week, or I've transferred them to this week. I have blocked off time where I've needed to work on my big projects. I try to hold those. Sometimes they get overwritten. I live in the real world where I've got a boss and I have things that come up that become more pressing, but I try to hold them. And if they have to get moved, we adapt. I live in the real space where I have a lot of deadlines that move and are shifting, but I try to protect them when I can. So at the end of the week, or as the beginning of the week, I look where I have time blocked. I look at other meetings that I have, deliverables I have. In general, I try to go in with, as soon as I get to the office Monday morning, I know the most important thing I need to do. I actually try to do that every day. It's like, I have the big 3 for the week, obviously, but each day when I go in, I want to know what's the first thing I need to do that's most important to drive me to success. I try not to let my email inbox drive my life. I obviously check email. I obviously respond. I don't ignore it, but I also understand that I could live in my inbox. And so Monday morning when I get to work, if I've already done my planning, I want to know what's the first thing I can do to start driving myself towards a successful week. And that's what I work on the minute I'm not in a meeting. And same thing for Tuesday. When I'm wrapping up Monday or I'm getting ready for Tuesday morning, I'm like, what's the first thing I can do that's going to help me get something big and important crossed off my list? And it's usually not something in your inbox. So that's kind of how I tackle my week and even how I think about my days. I really believe planning is the key to having a successful week and even having a successful day. I think you can take it into bigger, I think you scale what I just said, bigger or smaller, depending on if you're trying to approach your month, your week, or your day. I love planning. I have evolved how I plan my week over the years. I'm still fine-tuning and perfecting it. So I would love to hear from you. What do you do to go after your week? How do you plan your week to set yourself up for success? Let me know, and let me know what other questions you have. What else can I help you with? Until next week, here's to owning your career journey.